In January 2026, Google removed an app from the Play Store. 19 days later, it was back. That same month, Apple kicked it off the App Store. Amazon pulled it from Fire TV. Three of the most powerful technology companies on the planet moved against a single piece of software in the same 30-day window. And none of it mattered, because today, that app has over 30 million users worldwide, runs on every major platform ever built, streams movies and TV shows in 4K HDR, and costs absolutely nothing. The app is called Stremio, and its story is one of the most uncomfortable things the streaming industry has ever had to watch. Netflix has 301 million subscribers. Disney Plus has 131 million. HBO Max has 127 million. These companies have collectively spent hundreds of billions of dollars building digital empires, walled gardens where content is locked, priced, and controlled. Two developers in Bulgaria built a free app that walks straight through every single wall. If you want to understand how that happened, you need to go back to 2015 and a dead app called Popcorn Time. The MPAA called Popcorn Time the Netflix of piracy. It was elegant, fast, and terrifyingly easy to use. Click a movie, it streams. No downloads, no waiting, no technical knowledge required. Hollywood panicked. They won court orders in Canada and New Zealand, seized the domain, and dismantled the operation. The streaming industry celebrated. Piracy, they announced, was finally dead. Days later, two friends in Sofia, Bulgaria proved them catastrophically wrong. Their names were Ivo Georgiev, a developer, and Dimitar Stoyanov, a graphic designer. They had been working since 2012 on a question that nobody in Hollywood wanted asked. What if you could stream a torrent the way you stream Netflix? Just click and play. No corrupted files, no confusing clients, no dangerous pop-up ads. They had already built a working prototype called Cinematic, and they saw something the entire entertainment industry had missed. The problem with piracy was never the content. Torrent sites had bigger libraries than any streaming platform on Earth. The problem was the experience. It was ugly, complicated, and dangerous. Georgiev and Stoyanov were not trying to build another piracy tool. They wanted to build a media center, one unified hub that could pull from Netflix, YouTube, torrent sites, anything, and make it all feel like one seamless, beautiful service. They registered a company called Smart Code OOD in Sofia in 2014. On February 8, 2015, Stremio went live. And while Hollywood was celebrating a victory, something far more dangerous was already growing in its place. Here is the architectural genius that the streaming industry could never touch. Popcorn Time baked piracy directly into its code. Torrent streaming was not optional, it was the entire product. One target, one court order, one kill shot. Stremio looked at that mistake and built the exact opposite. Out of the box, Stremio does not stream a single frame of pirated content. It is a content aggregator, a beautifully designed shell that shows you what is available on Netflix, YouTube, and Amazon Prime. Think of it as an extremely elegant search engine for entertainment. Nothing about it, in its default state, violates copyright law. You could show it to a Hollywood lawyer and they would have nothing to say. But Stremio has an add-on system. Third-party developers can build plugins that connect Stremio to virtually any content source on the internet. The most popular of these is called Torrentio. It scrapes content from over 20 torrent providers. The Pirate Bay, 1337X, RARBG, Kick-Ass Torrents, and more. Install Torrentio, and Stremio transforms from a legal content aggregator into effectively the largest free streaming service ever built. Every movie in existence, every TV show, available instantly in high definition at zero cost. But Stremio does not make Torrentio, does not host it, does not promote it, The add-on lives on a completely separate website, built by an anonymous third-party developer who Stremio has no official relationship with whatsoever. As one Hacker News user put it perfectly, Stremio smartly avoids being killed by making piracy an optional plugin you install from another site. So they get deniability. What they promised, a legal media center? What they delivered, the most elegant piracy infrastructure ever constructed. And legally, no one could do a single thing about it. Now, here is where the streaming industry made its fatal mistake. If the major platforms had kept their promises, affordable prices, no ads, stable libraries, Stremio might have remained a niche tool for tech enthusiasts, a clever curiosity. But the streaming industry did not keep its promises. It did the exact opposite. The numbers are staggering. In January 2025, Netflix raised prices across every tier. The standard ad-free plan jumped to $17.99 a month. Disney Plus Premium climbed to $18.99 by October. Apple TV Plus hit $12.99, a 30% increase in a single year. HBO Max raised all 3 subscription tiers simultaneously. YouTube TV surged to $82.99 a month, up from $35 when it launched in 2017, a 137% increase in 8 years. According to reviews.org, the average American household spent $3,350 per year, $278 every single month, on streaming and TV services in 2025. That is not cheaper than cable. That is cable with worse customer service and a smugger attitude. And it got worse with every quarter. Netflix cracked down on password sharing in 2023, treating loyal multi-year customers like thieves. Disney Plus went from proudly ad-free at launch to making the ad-supported tier the default option. Amazon Prime Video, a service people were already paying $14.99 a month for speed, added mandatory advertisements in 2024, then had the audacity to charge users an extra $2.99 per month to remove the ads they never agreed to in the first place. Think about that for a moment. You are paying for a service. The service adds ads without your consent. Then the service charges you again to remove those ads. And somehow, the streaming executives were surprised when users started looking for alternatives. Imagine someone, let us call her Priya. She is 26, renting a flat, working 2 jobs in a city where rent takes half her paycheck. She used to pay for Netflix and Disney Plus. That was around $25 a month. Manageable. Then Netflix raised its prices 3 times in 2 years. Disney Plus added ads to the exact plan she was already paying for. She would come home after a 12-hour shift, open her laptop to decompress and watch something, and the very first thing she would see was an advertisement for a luxury car she could not dream of affording, on a service she was already paying for every single month. One evening, Priya saw a post on X. Someone had shared a screenshot of an app that looked exactly like Netflix. Clean interface, beautiful movie posters, one-click play. Except everything was free. No ads, no subscription, no credit card required. The app was Stremio. Now multiply Priya by 30 million people. In 2024, Stremio went viral. Users were not just downloading it, they were evangelizing it. Every price hike became a recruitment ad for Stremio. Every new ad tier was a billboard. Every content removal, every password crackdown, every feature that disappeared while the price went up. Each one pushed another wave of fed-up subscribers straight into Stremio's ecosystem. The streaming industry did not just create the demand for piracy. They personally funded the entire marketing campaign for free, at scale, for years. By late 2025, Stremio had become too large and too visible to ignore. And here is how you know the industry was genuinely scared. They did not just go after the piracy add-ons, they went after the app itself, including a version called Stremio Lite that had absolutely zero piracy features, no torrent support, no third-party add-ons. A fully compliant, stripped-down product. Apple removed it from the App Store anyway. That is how dangerous even the concept of Stremio had become to the established order. On Christmas Day 2025, Google suspended Stremio from the Play Store with no public explanation and no warning. Millions of Android users woke up to find the app gone. Stremio's developers confirmed the ban on Reddit, but could not share details. 19 days later, on January 13, 2026, Stremio was back on Google Play with the same app ID, the same features, and nothing changed. The developers published a 3-word blog post in response: "We're back." That same month, Amazon removed Stremio from its App Store just weeks after officially adding it in December 2025. Fire TV users who had celebrated what felt like a mainstream legitimization were left scrambling. Google, Apple, Amazon, all three in the same 30 days, all three failed. Because Stremio does not need app stores to survive. It can be sideloaded on Android via a direct APK from the official website. On iOS, users install it through sideloading tools. On desktop, it was never in a store at all. You simply cannot kill an app that does not need permission to exist. But the real reason Stremio is truly unkillable is not the app itself. It is the ecosystem built around it. Stremio published an open-source SDK, a software development kit, that lets any developer anywhere in the world build add-ons. As of early 2026, there are over 48 torrent-based add-ons on the community catalog alone. Torrentio, Media Fusion, Comet, the Pirate Bay Plus, each one built by anonymous developers scattered across different countries, on different servers, under different jurisdictions, with no central point of failure. The community went even further. Developers built AI-powered subtitle translators using GPT-4 and Gemini that can translate an entire film in under 2 minutes into dozens of languages. They built integrations with Debrid services, premium cloud resolvers like RealDebrid and Torbox that cache torrent files on remote servers, so the end user never connects to a torrent swarm at all. No seeding, no IP exposure, no legal risk. Just instant buffered, high-definition streaming delivered as cleanly as any paid platform. There is no headquarters to raid, no CEO to subpoena, no master server to seize. They killed Popcorn Time by attacking its infrastructure. They killed Megapload by arresting Kim.com. They destroyed LimeWire through years of costly litigation. But you cannot sue an SDK. You cannot arrest an open-source architecture. You cannot serve a court order to an anonymous developer in a country that does not recognize your copyright treaty. And here is the detail that should genuinely humiliate every streaming executive reading an industry report right now. Smart Code OOD, the Sofia-based company behind all of this, has never raised significant venture capital. Their team once ran at just 15 people, split between Stremio and a separate blockchain project called ADDX. No billion-dollar war chest, no squadron of intellectual property lawyers, no government lobbying budget. Meanwhile, Netflix spent over $17 billion on content in a single year. Disney burned through billions building Disney Plus from the ground up. Warner Bros. Discovery wrote off $2 billion in content purely for tax purposes. And all of them are losing users to an unfunded app built by two friends who were simply frustrated with the state of entertainment. Netflix's annual content budget could fund Stremio's entire operation for approximately 1,000 years. The streaming industry made a promise in 2015. No more cable bundles, no more forced ads. Watch what you want, when you want, for less. A revolution in entertainment. What they delivered a decade later was rebundled services that collectively cost more than cable, mandatory ads on tiers people were already paying for, annual price increases with no corresponding improvement in value, and content libraries that shrank without warning, while subscription prices grew without apology. Disney Plus doubled its price in 4 years, something Netflix took 14 years to do. One consumer told CNBC, "Streaming has become as much of a financial burden as cable ever was." Another said, "They email you about a small increase, and next thing you know, you are paying double." And the cruelest irony of all, research shows that 50% of Gen Z and millennials now consider watching YouTube creators to be equivalent to watching a traditional streaming service. The platforms are not just losing to Stremio, they are losing to free content on social media at the exact same time, both fights, simultaneously, because they forgot the one rule that has governed every media disruption in history: convenience and value always win. Always. That was the lesson Napster taught the music industry in 1999. It was the lesson Popcorn Time taught Hollywood in 2014. It is the lesson Stremio is teaching the entire streaming sector right now, in real time, at scale, completely for free. 30 million people did not choose Stremio because they are criminals. They chose it because the legal alternatives lied to them, raised prices on them, added ads to them, and then called it progress. The app they cannot kill just proved something the entire industry refuses to accept. The internet always fights back. If you canceled a subscription because of a price hike, you were not wrong. If you sat through an ad on a service you paid for, you were not wrong. If you searched for a movie and found it removed without notice, you were right to be angry. And 30 million people agreed with you. If this story opened your eyes, hit like and subscribe, because every week we pull back the curtain on how tech giants get too greedy and how ordinary people always find a way to fight back.